Today, I have something incredible for you guys. Today, we speak with Stephan Grobler. Stephan has a story that I'm sure will inspire a bunch of you. Listen to this. In less than 4 years, he managed to leave his boring IT job to pursue his dream of becoming a commodity trader. Then, when he got to that point, he managed to find a financial partner to launch his company. Honestly, I'm so happy about Stephan's achievement because he's the embodiment of the vision that I had when I launched the Shipping and Commodity Academy 5 years ago. Find people who have the hunger and the will to succeed. Help them find a job for them to learn the rope and build a network. And then give them the tool to build their own firm. Alright, I'll give you Stephan Grobler.
Alright, Stephan, so let's start with the first question. My favorite question. Can you walk us through one of your worst trade?
Absolutely. So I can remember it was, I believe, 2022. It was December month. All the mines are starting to close. And we had one client that was urgently looking for a small parcel. I think it was about 500 tons of a very specific type of coal. I mean, finding that type of coal in South Africa, all the big mines already have off-takers. And they're not really interested in starting new trades in the month of December. South Africa is pretty chilled when it comes to December. And we had to find this coal. And I found this one guy that could supply this specific type of coal, but it was not on a mine. I guess that was the biggest red flag of them all. So I went to this place. It was a coal yard, like they call them here in South Africa. And I saw the stock. It looked very good. Took samples, tested it, came out exactly how we wanted it. So we said, okay.
So you went there, you checked the good, you see, all right, it exists. It's not like
it exists. The tonnages were not there yet. So the whole parcel was not on the floor, only a partial parcel. And they told us now they're going to screen some of the stock into peas. We wanted small nuts. So they're going to screen some peas out and blah, blah, blah. But they can just bring in some more stock for us, build me a stockpile, and then we can transact. So I said, okay, good. And our client was very desperate. We needed to get the stock in. And so I said, okay, let's proceed. I'll send you guys a PO. But I didn't want to release a payment just as yet. And they were pushing for payment. And so I said, okay, build me the stockpile. Then I'll come and verify the complete stockpile. And then every day it was a different story. No, there's strikes in the area. We can't come into the yard now. Then they said, okay, they're going to move the stock to a new yard. And then I can come and test it there. So I said, okay, cool. Do it. Then I verified. And I mean, as trading goes, as trading goes, you know, there's a lot of pressure to get your stock delivered. And it's December. The transport companies wants to close down. Everybody wants to chill. So I kept on pushing, and it's a different story every day. And then one day the guy told me, okay, there's a strike again. You can't come in. The community is raging outside. I said, this doesn't make sense because I know the area very well. So I got into my car and I drove there. And there was nothing happening. And sent him a message. He says, okay, blah, blah, blah. And then I just said, okay, something is really fishy. I called the other guy that actually introduced me to these people. And they said, no, it will be right. These guys are good guys. At the end of the day, it just never happened. It was really, really a big mess up. We had to call in big favors from other guys just to get the cargo to our clients. But that was a very good example of something that went really south. And about, let's call it 6 months later, that one coal yard that I actually visited came up on the news as being fraudulent, where they steal the coal from our power utilities and they swap the coal. And so dodged a bullet, but it was a big screw up at the end of the day. But yeah, that was one of the examples of a very bad trade that we had.
Man, but you've got to be so careful, man. There's always new scam, always new stories like. But just for me to understand, when you deal up with coal, usually it's huge volume. So why does your client wanted what did your client wanted 500 metric ton? It seems like very small for.
Correct. So there's a lot of smaller niche industries in South Africa, calcining industries, little boiler markets, chicken farmers. So a lot of smaller guys that take a lot less volume. So it's not always your 50,000 ton or the type of messages you get that you need to do a 50,000 ton FOB vessel. It's a lot of smaller niche clients around that move volume. It's not a lot of volume, but there's good margin to be made with these clients.
Look, but like when you deliver like 500 metric ton, what is going to be like a margin? Like $5, $10, or even more than that?
So I'll not totally disclose, but you can look at a
No,
10%.
but yeah, of course. I'm not
Yeah,
asking, but usually is it because it's a lot of trucks and but because I'm asking because it's a lot of trucks, it's a
yeah,
lot of logistics, it's a lot. Each truck could be a problem. It's always the same shit. So
correct.
then, if the margin is like, I don't know, like $2 or $3, like, do you really want to do that? That's a question.
So that's the thing. It is worthwhile, especially when you have, let's say, 4 or 5 of these clients. It's definitely
Yeah.
worthwhile. And I mean, if you get your logistics down to the T, you deal with proper guys. There's only certain verified logistics service providers you work with, and you have a very good relationship with them. The risk after it's loaded onto the truck is basically gone. You have insurance. I mean, they have GIT. So the problem is just to get it onto a truck. To verify the quality, get it onto a truck, and then deliver it. Especially if it's local, there's not much risk. Your bigger risk comes in with the international trade.
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
and then especially
Okay.
there's a lot of risk if you deal with these guys with the coal yards. So don't deal with those guys. Only deal directly with the mines. Then if you it's just quality risk, financial risk a bit. But if it's on a truck and you know all the guys you're dealing with, you can mitigate it quite good.
And is it? And then the question is, how do you get small quantity out of a mine? Is it easy? Because usually, I mean, if I'm a mine owner, I would be like, look, man, I need at least, I don't know, 10,000 metric ton a month. Otherwise, man, I don't even want to speak with you. So
Correct. Correct. So you need to come with a full solution to him. So you tell him, listen, I'm dealing with a lot of typical different industries. This is my type of clients I deal with. We work on different orders. So this client will take typically 500. This client will take 4,000. But I bring a full solution to you on your production. I have all the industries on my clients, so I can give you better pricing on this product. So you dangle the carrot in front of them, telling them, listen, you can get a bit of a extra margin in this industry, and that's what you bring to the mine. Give them.
okay. So basically, yes, look, it's going to be a pain in the ass for you to sort everything and so on, but it will be worthwhile because I can pay you just better
Correct.
than like someone that it takes for like 50,000 metric ton amount that will just ship it and so on. Oh,
Correct,
okay,
and that's
makes sense.
definitely something. One of the bigger valuable lessons that I learned from Walter, the guy that I work for. He's a marketing whiz. I mean, he knows how to spin a good marketing. He knows how to market a product. He knows how to create value. Even where there's no value, you can create value, and that's a very valuable lesson I learned from him.
Nice, man. But all right, so now that you spoke about this worst rate, can you please take us back at the beginning of your career? Because if I remember well, I checked again. So you enrolled in the Shipping and Commodity Academy in 2020. So that is like
Correct.
4 years ago. And
Correct.
time flies, time flies. And back then, you were a project manager for an IT firm. So it was not
Yeah,
at all linked to commodity or
not
resources,
at
right?
all. So I did let me take you back to university. I did my honors degree in international trade. So much more in the line of commodity trading and logistics. Started my career in logistics, in freight forwarding for a company, Worldnet Logistics. Loved it, was absolutely fantastic. And then, I don't know, I still have to decide if it was the best or the worst decision I ever made in my life. But this IT company came and they poached me to become a project manager for them. You're young, you're stupid, you saw a lot more money, so you think, okay, well, maybe I should do this. It was terrible. I had the worst time. I hated it. But while I did this, I learned a lot from the commodity industry. I saw this is very interesting, and I actually want to become a part of this. But now I took a turn in my career. I went from logistics, which is more involved with commodity trading, but now I'm totally out. I'm in the IT industry. How do you get back in the commodity industry? And like you also know, and I think a lot of people out there know, to become a trader is one of the most difficult industries. It's the most difficult job to crack into. If you don't get a job right out of varsity, it's extremely hard to get into the industry. Why would someone pick you? It's the most secretive industry. People hold their cards very close to their chest, so they want the correct person for the job. So it was just impossible for me to make a crack at it. So I worked with the IT company for, I think, about 4 years. And then in COVID, I said, yes, I need to do something. I'm bored and I need to make a crack at commodity trading. So I did your course. It was very cool. Had a great time. And I mean, your course isn't cheap, Damien. We can all be honest.
Yeah, especially for South Africa. Man.
Especially South Africa. And I thought, no, I need to get a lot more value out of this course. So I remember I sent you a mail with a question, and I made it quite an intriguing question, so that we had to do a call. And I think that's where me and your relationship started off. And we started bouncing.
I did not even like remember that. Yes,
Really?
I mean,
Well, that's how it works. And so, yeah, that's how myself and you met.
yeah.
And I made a very risky move. There was a guy that started up a mining operation in Zimbabwe. And we all know how Zimbabwe's mining operations go. It's not the best of all. And I joined him, but it was a total mess, like really a big mess. And the guy was also a bit dodgy. But I had to make that move just to get out of the IT industry and to cement something on my CV that showed, listen, I'm into the commodity industry. And then I actually still didn't make it into trading as yet. And I started working for a logistics company, Steinbach, which deals with a lot of commodities in the
Yes, and
logistics.
I think, man, this is also what your story is a good story to show. Like, sometimes you need to use backdoors. And the
Yes.
fact that you work for Steinweg, I mean, for people that doesn't know, Steinweg, I think it's the biggest warehousing company in the world, and they deal with a lot. I mean, I'm client at Steinweg. All the commodity traders are client there, so they know everyone. And as an employee there, you could basically like know, okay, oh, this guy is doing that, this guy is doing that, and so on.
Right.
And it could really open like a network that you couldn't get otherwise. So I think it's a lot of guys that work in those work freight forwarder or warehousing company and so on, they end up at the client side. So I think
Correct.
it's a very good way to get in.
Absolutely. So I saw this as a backdoor to get into the commodity industry. And Steinbach, I mean, is such a good company, a very reputable company. Started working there, absolutely loved it. Really, really, really a great company to work for. Everyone that wants to go into the logistics industry, definitely a company to work for.
I visited you when you worked there. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, I visited the office in City Deep. Yeah, I remember now. I forgot about that again. Yeah, that's true.
And everything. So yeah, had a fantastic time there. But that is a very, very good platform to get into the commodity industry. Even if you want to stay in logistics and commodities, you deal with. I mean, trading is is logistics. It's just finance put together with logistics. So you see a lot of things happening. You deal with a lot of these companies, and that was the place where the company saw me that I went to go trade for, and made my move from logistics to trading. And yeah, so I started trading.
But it was a client of you as a
Actually
at
not.
Steinweg.
Actually
No?
not.
Oh, okay.
It was not a client of mine. So the backdoor I took into Steinbach was not actually dealing with mining commodities. Although I knew a lot about mining, I was actually working more in Africa and Africa imports. So Malawi, Zambia, Namibia. So looking more those type of regions. And but I dealt with a lot of my colleagues with the mining commodities. And I can't really remember exactly how the trading company came across me, but I mean, working for Steinbach is already it's a right tick. It's a thing for a trading company. Knowing this guy knows a bit about commodities, and yeah, that's how I landed the job. Was sad to leave Steinbach. Really had an amazing time there, and then yeah, that's how my trading career started. Started as a junior trading coal and anthracite, and worked my way up, and that's how the interesting part of my life started. I guess we'll touch base on that now.
But and how long did you stay in that commodity trading call? Not that long. Now that I'm
No, I think it was about 2.5 years, which
2.5 years. All right.
Yeah.
All right. And when you were like, so that was the first time that you were a full-time trader with like a balance sheet, so you can buy and sell without having to beg everyone, so you can really start to trade. And what was like this experience when you first started? Do you remember?
It was fantastic. So when I started, I spent a lot of time with the owner of the company. We did a lot of road trips together, and he showed me the ropes and how to approach a trade, how to see value in something, which areas to target, learn the niches of the product. If you don't understand the product you're trading, it's not just not just something you just trade. Know the ins and outs of the product. People look at coal and think, oh, you're just going to burn it in a power station, or it's going to India, or it's going to China. Not at all. There's so many different facets of coal, and anthracite as well. It's such a niche commodity. So many different things you have to look for to place it in the correct industry. The sizing, the petrographics of the products, the phos, the sulfur, all those type of things that you have to look for, and then know what industry takes what product and how you can link it up with which mine, and that's what that can make you a success in the industry. So back to your question, spend a lot of time with him, learn the ropes, learn the mines that produce, and now you need to go and sell yourself to the mines, because I mean, we weren't the biggest trading company then. So there's all these other traders that muscle you out. They move bigger volumes. So now you have to do a better marketing job than them, know the product better. So these guys will actually use you and sell the product to you.
Okay, man. So that's what do you mean by better marketing? Because at the end of the day, people will say, "Look, Stephan, it's only a question of price. So if you can afford a better price, then yeah, they will sell to you." Or
Absolutely.
is it or not? Or sometimes even with a better price, you cannot buy. So what can you say about that?
Look, so let me give you one example of price is a thing, but if you get your foot in the door, price is something you can negotiate later on, and if you can give them a bit of a gain, you're in. But relationships. The one day I went with these guys in Middelburg, they do this weekly thing on a Wednesday where they have a beer at a dross. So the dross is like it's an old school type of pub in South Africa, and there all these mining guys meet every Wednesday for a beer. And there I met this one mining legend in the industry, and
what is a mining legend? Is it?
like I think he's 78 or 80 years old, but he's still operating. He's like immense knowledge about mining. And I sat next to him and I started asking him all these questions because I have a massive interest in mining. I mean, that's actually my interest in this whole industry. It's the being on the ground, having the machinery working. So I asked him all these questions, and I mean, he's like an open book. He just started telling me all these things and sharing experiences with me and his life experience. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. Yeah, I'm sitting with this legend, and I mean, he's sharing all these things with me. And then he said, listen, Stephan, come and visit me next week. Drive to the mine. I'll take you around. I'll show you what we do. And this is one of the prominent coal mines in South Africa. I mean, they've been around for 30 years, 25 to 30 years. And drove there, and him personally, the CEO of the mine, spent about 4 to 5 hours with me, driving me around, showing me the shafts, showing me the wash plants, telling me how they started, what he did, and things that he's doing. I mean, for a CEO to take out 5 hours of his time just to show you around, teaching you, showing you stuff. And that's how we got the foot in the door at the end of the day. And we didn't do business immediately, but we started communicating. And that relationship was built there. Started doing meetings, pitch stuff. Didn't always work, but then it worked. We could find that edge in the industry where we could pay a bit more. And that's how you get your foot in the door. So do a bit of better marketing, find the niche industries, start getting your foot in the door. And I mean, that's how you can
Yes.
muscle yourself.
And I think it's a really good story because it shows like it's why is it all about relationship? Because at the end of the day, relationship is a de-risk. If you know the guy is a great guy, I mean, you've been, I don't know, you've been trying to know each other for like 6 months, something like this. The guy is on time. He has like professional documents. He sends you email that means something and not something that is like just vomit on his computer. I mean, you're like, oh, all right, I can maybe deal with someone. Because at the end of the day, a lot of money are going to move. Like each transaction could be like millions and so on. So this is what people are missing. Why is it a relationship business? It's because relationship de-risks the transaction. So it takes time to build up a relationship. So but once you have it, I mean, there's no reason for you not to deal with that guy for the next 20. Maybe if he's 80 years old, it's not going to last 20 years. But there's no reason, unless someone fucked up, that this relationship will not carry on for years and years and years.
Exactly. And I mean, when you de-risk that relationship, I mean, they're going to open up more and more and more, and they're going to want you to do more business with them. And that's how you take over a book. That's how you move all of their coal. Because I mean,
and this is also something which is very interesting. But that you said that you will take over the book because
Yeah.
This is what people are missing in a relationship. There is like the past guys and the new guy. So
Yeah.
if you are the new guy, you just need to be there when the old guys make a fucked up, because it's logistic, it's trading. There's always something is always going to. There's always going to be an issue. It's always like this. So just wait. And when there's an issue, the guy is thinking, yeah, this old guy just fucked me here. I mean, let's try the new one. And this is why you want to be there. So this is why you need to build a relationship without maybe something, without getting this or anything, but keep building it until the time is right.
Exactly. And then you need to be in the position to pounce on that deal. Because
Yeah.
I mean, it's the natural cycle of trading. Traders become big, they focus on bigger things. Smaller things become they neglect the relationship. They fall behind, they don't do what they say they're going to do. And that
Yeah.
you can actually get your foot in the door. And then if you keep on doing well, you're going to take over that book.
Yeah, no, definitely. So, this is why it's ever moving. It's always something like that I've seen so many times. Like someone is working with a company, let's say I don't know, like Glencore in South Africa. They say, we are working with Glencore, but maybe the guy that you speak with is going to move to another job or whatever, and the new guy is someone that you hate. You can't stand like working with that guy for whatever reason. Then I can tell you, even if this is a big company and so on, someone will take over that. Because when there's going to be a new negotiation, so what do we do with the yearly contract? People are going to say, but man, I don't want to see that dude like every month. I can't stand that man. So then the contract is going to move. So it's little thing like this that is going to make or break a trading career.
That's very, very true. And I've seen it a lot of times where somebody took over from another guy and it's
A disaster.
it's really, really not good. So keeping that relationship very well is very, very important. People care about relationships, especially
Yeah. No, but I mean, honestly, man, everywhere, because it's maybe more transactional in the US, but still in the US they always want to buy from another US company. So there is something here. It's the bigger the company, the least the relationship is important. If it's two big companies dealing with each other, but still at the end of the day, someone that takes the decision to work with you or with you, so it's still a human decision at the end of the day. So
absolutely.
so Stefan, so you worked there at this coal trading company for 2.5 years,
Yeah.
and then you ended up in your new gig, so which is your company. So can you
Correct.
explain to us the transition?
So there was this one mine that I managed while I was still trading. One contract I managed, and the owner of the mine is very involved in his mine, and me and him built up a very, very good relationship. Very cool guy, interesting guy. So we started work. I mean, half of my day was on the phone with this guy, chatting, making plans, sorting out logistics, sorting out cash flow, just operating with him. And I mean, as our relationship grew, there was a lot of insight that I got into the mine, and I said, "Yes, this is very interesting. I really like this." And I mean, in my 2.5 years, I've seen a lot of mines. I've been in a bunch of pits. You know, when you drive in and you look at the coal seams, you look at how the operation works, how the wash plant works, production. If you get these amounts of tons out, you put it through the wash plant. This is the yields you're going to get. This is the fines to size ratio. This is the duff peas and nuts you're going to get out. It really intrigued me. And one day, this specific gentleman approached me and he said, "Listen, I'm looking at branching out. I want to start up new projects and I need someone as a right hand." And he asked me if I wanted to become a partner with him. And I said, yes, this is exactly actually what I want to do. And the timing was perfectly right. And I'm not a partner in his mine in South Africa, but we formed a partnership. And now we're tackling new mining projects, buying up mines, projects, and then starting up from scratch.
Dude, this is amazing, man. Like it's now it's wild. It's wild. So so you've been active in Namibia, right? So
Correct.
what are the type of project that you are tackling there? What are you doing? Can you give us like some details about that?
Absolutely. So I think the whole world knows there's a big copper squeeze coming. Copper is the new thing. It's the new big and best thing out there. And I believe Namibia is a hidden gem, especially in Africa. Easy to do business, great country, great people. it's a country as big as South Africa with only 3 million people. So I believe that's why a lot of the opportunities also hasn't been exploited. I mean, South Africa, it's hard to get a good project. All the good ones have been taken. All the unsavory people involved with other projects in South Africa. So to get the right project is much easier in Namibia. So our first project, we have boots on the ground. We've started with site establishments. Our offices are up. Our trailers are up for all the staff to stay there. We put up container home yard. Some of our yellow machines have arrived. So now we're just waiting for our spiral plants.
All right. So man, you're going to mine in a few weeks, man.
Correct. So we should probably, our first concentrate we would produce, I would say, let's say end of Feb. But we're already starting to produce, getting our already prepping our slimes dam. So it's a typical cleanup project that we're doing, but very exciting. It's not a big project,
Man.
small project, but it's very, very
What's it? And it's copper gold. What is the
silver. Unfortunately,
copper
not
silver?
gold, but it's a copper silver project. It's more north. It's north of Windhoek, about 500 k's. And so we're going to be producing a concentrate. And then we'll see. I think we'll probably export it, but we'll probably export it.
Yeah, Namibia doesn't have like a lot of ways to valorize the copper concentrate yet, but it will change, man. Because Namibia, I think I love this country also. I think there's a lot of things that is going to change there. It's very easy to do business compared to the rest of the region. So I'm very, very bullish on Namibia. So then how much do you have I guess you have an estimation. How much are you going to produce, and have you already conclude an offtake agreement with a trader? I think this question for the people to understand, like most of the time, there is going to be a trader which is going to pre-finance the production and so on because they want to get the offtake at a discount. So this is a big way that basically traders get quantity. So this is why there's a lot, especially, but with all metals, there's no, like, it's very difficult to find spot copper cathode or spot product to buy because usually everything is already sold when it's been produced. So in your case, did you had to speak with a trader to get something, or no? You were able to finance it yourself or with bank to get it out?
So we self-finance this project. Obviously, it's a trader's dream because usually people come to a trader and say, "Listen, we want to do a pre-sell. There's nothing even done. There's nothing on the ground." So I think that's always a lot more risky for a trader. So we self-finance this project. We have no formal offtake agreement as yet. So, but we will probably finalize that in the next, let's call it month and a half.
Yeah.
But we want to strategically partner with a trader, and it must be the right trader. We are currently busy acquiring the next asset. It's quite a very large copper asset, and we need a big brother on that to fully get that mine into production. So this smaller project, we self-financed it. And we can leverage our product with a trader to get the bigger financing.
So basically, so you can say, look, this is what we have already done here. This is like now we want to do, I don't know, 10x that, but then we need some more commitment. So it makes a lot of sense, man. And how long to go to that point where you have like site establishment, machinery start to arrive, and so on? How long did it take?
Sure. So it took a while. I think we started in July. We started with finalizing. We started deal negotiation. Started with it. Saw the project. Then did some of the financing. We only started breaking ground, I believe, in October, the beginning of October.
So for people to know, so July, so it was 6 months ago.
6 months ago,
and then 3 months ago you started. Yeah. But no, that was. I mean, this is not that slow, man.
We are extremely lucky in the project that we got. It's small, but it's very, very nice. The copper is good. And then from breaking ground to starting production, let's say another 3 to 4 months. That's our time.
All right. So now you are on the producing side. So, okay. So my question is, do you think that, what do you prefer the most? Let's do like this. Is it like producing or is it trading?
Definitely producing. And I'll tell you why. So trading is fun. I mean, there's not a job out there that is more exciting, that you deal with the most interesting people out there. So 1 minute you busy raising finances, you're talking to first world companies, and then all of a sudden you in overall safety boots and you're drinking beer with a couple of miners. You need to speak their language. You need to become dirty. You need to get into the stockpiles yourself. You need to see the stuff. I mean, there were days that I got home and I'm completely black from all the coal dust, and that makes it fun. You sort out logistics yourself. Doesn't care how big your company is, you'll always get your hands dirty. So it just gives you such exposure to so many different facets of business, and that's what I loved about trading. What I like more about producing is you the master of your own destiny. As a trader, you're not the master of your own destiny always. Markets come and go, mines open, they close. There's a lot of things that can change, and you don't have your hand on it always. What I like about mining, it's more risky. You have more skin in the game, but I mean, when the markets are good, you make exponential money.
Yeah,
But
of
you're
course.
also the master of your own fate. You know how
Yes.
to run the finances. You make sure production is set up. You have backup plans in place. And I just, from my risk perspective, what I like doing, I want to be in control of the source.
Yes, so this is because this is right. When you trade, there's the buyers and the seller. So there's always two legs to your trade. Even though you stock it, you process it, or you do whatever in the middle, there's still a buyer and a trader. So if one leg of the trade is like there is an issue, which is very common, then you are fucked. You need to find a solution and so on.
Yeah.
In what you are doing, you are trying to solve another problem, which is all right. How can we get this production to get going without doing stupid mistake, without pissing the money out and so on? And then, as long as the production cost is below the market price,
Correct.
it's okay, you're safe. Then, if for whatever reason, for in your case, copper, there's a massive squeeze, price go to, I don't know, like 15,000 per metric ton, it's completely possible. Then you become extremely, extremely profitable and you make a shitload of money. On the other side, if the price decrease for, I don't know, now China is not doing well, there's maybe like a decrease in the economy, price drop to below your production price, then you have some problem because it's not easy. You cannot just close a mine like this and wait. When there's a lot of cost involved in whatever you need to do. So this is not like switch on, switch off. So there is more risk, price risk. Obviously, you can hedge, but man, it's for small mining operation. Do you want to hedge? Do you want to have an hedging account? I'm not sure how much it makes sense, but yeah. So, but if it works, man, this is true. You are going to make way more money than trading.
Absolutely. So, and I mean, you've seen how it's done. You know which role players to do business with. I mean, it's easy to do the calculations. Mining costs you this, production costs you this. This is the yield loss. This is your final cost, and this is the market price. So you need a very good margin there, exponential margin actually. So if the market is down, you should do your calculations on worst case scenario. Look at the markets, look at how the product is performing the last couple of years, and do your basis, your calculations on the worst case scenario. If you're still making good money, why not?
Yeah.
And that's the
for sure. And so what is the vision for your company? So now you have one copper project, you are going to get another one, a bigger one, and then you want to be a junior miner, diversified around non-ferrous metal, or what is the vision? Or there is no fucking vision. You just see what is there at a good price, and then you'll pounce on it.
No, definitely there's a vision.
So that's the right answer.
So definitely to become a prominent junior miner in the Southern African space. I think we definitely found our niche in Namibia. And I mean, we stay in South Africa. Our head office is in South Africa. We know how it works. So definitely get involved in South Africa. But like I said, getting the right project is hard. We have our eye on a very good coal project, but that would only come online, possible, let's call it Q2 of next year. So we are in the market in South Africa to look for good projects as well. We want to diversify in commodities, but for now we're making a big play on copper.
But and also in South Africa, as you said at the beginning, people don't really maybe see it, but it's way more competitive. Prices for good project, they are like, it's not as Namibia. People are less used to Namibia just as a mining place. So yeah, man. So props to you, man. So for just to finish off here, so if you have like any piece of advice for someone that wants to get in commodity trading, what would it be?
Definitely get your CV right. Market yourself correctly. You're a commodity yourself, so market yourself correctly. I think that's something I learned from you as well. Get your LinkedIn quite sexy. Make it look. I mean, your first perceptions are also everything. So, I mean, everybody goes to look at LinkedIn these days, or your social media. So make it look impressive. Make it look like you're professional, like you're a smart guy. Make yourself presentable. Then I would always recommend doing your course if you don't know anything about
Thanks.
trading.
Yeah.
It's a very, very good intro to commodity trading and to shipping. And it's a very, very good tool to have on your CV. Then, if you don't get into a trading company right out of varsity, or you stuck in a job and you want to get into commodity trading, maybe you have to take a step back to take a step forward. So maybe look at the crumbs that lies around the commodity industry, which is usually logistics. Go to work for a freight forwarder. Freight forwarders are big employers. They always have a lot of jobs, and you learn a lot. If you have that background and you learn the logistics behind commodities, it's easier to get into the commodity trading industry. If you deal with the clients and the clients like you, you're going to get a job.
Yeah, definitely. No, but it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
And also, when you basically, it's easy to get information as a freight forwarder. You can just ask questions. Oh, what do you do? Where do you ship? Oh, how can we help you? Why don't you do this? Do that? And the guy will always talk, man. So it's a very good way to just get market knowledge, which is something that you don't have otherwise. This is the thing with this industry. People don't really understand. It's like you need to do something to get some insight. There is no. You need to speak with people. You need to you need to speak with people to get insight about what is going on. And this is the only way to understand what is going on. It's speaking with people. So you need to be in a job where you speak with the right type of people, so then you understand what is going on, and then it's 10 times easier to get a job in the industry.
Absolutely.
But cool, Stephan. All right, man. So
Yeah.
are you going to stay in South Africa, or are you going to move to Namibia?
For now, if my wife asks me, I'll tell her no, we're staying in South Africa. But we never know. Eh? You never know. Namibia might be the logical thing to do. It's really a nice country. I've only had good experiences there. But I mean, South Africa is my home. I love South Africa. It's so nice to stay here in Pretoria. It's the best city in the world. To stay
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure about that one, but but,
in all the dodgy pubs. I've taken you in South
yeah,
Africa.
exactly.
It's a good place. I mean, all our family and friends are here, and I mean, Namibia is just across the border. So
that's
if
not
I have
far.
to do 2 weeks a month, a week a month in Namibia, it's maybe better to keep my family this side and just travel a lot. But we'll see. Time will tell.
All right, Stephan. Thanks a lot for your time.
Damien, have a good one. Cheers.